Well, what's up, Radiant students, man? I hope you guys are excited to be at City Group today. Woo woo! Y'all, City Group is going to be a good day that you are here. I just want to take a second and thank y'all for being here, man. It's a big deal. You guys could have done anything with your Sunday. You came to City Group, you showed up, you're hanging out, you're having the time of your life. You don't regret being there. You know it's good. You're thinking back, why was I even debating on coming today? I'm so glad you're here, and it's going to be a good time. And if you don't know who I am, I'm John. I'm one of the student pastors here at Radiant Church, and I want to take a second, and if we got any first-time students in the room, I just want to say thank you for coming. It's a big deal. You guys could have done anything. You could have just been invited and been like, that sounds weird, I'm not going to do that, but you're here. Man, just thank you for coming. It's a really big deal, and we really believe here at Radiant Church, and maybe you guys can finish this sentence for me, that life change happens in the context of relationship. That's right. It's all about life change happening in the context of relationship, because we really want you to be the best version of you, and we is always better than me. And so if you're ready to have the best version of yourself, you got to get around the right community, around the right people, and that's what God is going to do today. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to start a whole new series all on living on mission. And living on mission, and that's kind of a weird idea, right? Like, what does this mean that we're living on mission? What I just kind of define it as that when you wake up in the morning and your feet hit the ground, you have a purpose. You know exactly what you're called to do. You know what you're going to do today. You're excited about it. You're passionate about it. You know that you are going to be the best version of yourself when you're living on the right mission. For me, when I was, just a high school student, I had this whole idea where I couldn't figure out what I was made to do. Why was I here on this earth? And talking to a lot of other students, I know a lot of you kind of have those same questions. You're wondering, why am I here? What do I exist to do? What is this whole thing about life all about? And today I want us to kind of break down what it's about, what it looks like, and what we're trying to do. And when I was in high school, like I was saying, I would go to school and I would try to figure out my spot, right? Where do I fit in? Like, am I a popular kid? And am I just a geek? Am I an athlete? Am I going to be in musicals? And what am I going to do? And, for a lot of my high school career, it was hard for me to find a spot. Went out, saw how the football team was playing. They all hit each other. I was like, not about it. Said basketball, they're not supposed to hit each other. You get in trouble. So I tried basketball. That wasn't my thing. I kept looking for what was my thing. What was the thing that I could live on mission for? And I'll tell you, I really didn't find anything to live on mission for until I gave my life to Jesus. And when I gave my life to Jesus, Jesus stepped into my life around my freshman year of high school, and it changed everything about my life, because I had been pursuing so many other ideas of what I thought I was supposed to do. And maybe a lot of you are living on mission with this idea that you want to be the best musician or the best athlete or the best student, and all of those things aren't bad. Be the best you can possibly be. But for me, all of those things just never really seemed to measure up to when I really understood who Jesus was and what the gospel was really all about. And so when I gave my life to Jesus, and I had this teacher kind of come up to me and they explained to me what the gospel really means and what the gospel is, and you guys can write it down if you guys are taking notes, because leaders are note takers. The gospel just means good news. And it's a good news for you, and I'm going to explain why it's a good news for you, and it's a good news for me, and really it's a whole good news for the whole world, that everybody needs to hear the gospel. And in Radiant, we kind of define the gospel like this, that Christ, who's also Jesus, his full name is Jesus Christ. Christ is a title, just like I'm Pastor John. My first name is not Pastor. That's a title that I have. So Jesus Christ. Christ was a title that Jesus had. And so the definition of gospel is that Christ died on the cross for our sins and rose again on the third day. So Jesus died for our sins. He took on my sin, my shame, my guilt, my mistakes, my addictions. He took on your sin, your mistakes, your addictions, your guilt, and then he rose again on the third day. So the gospel is this beautiful picture of this idea that we've sinned. And that means we've messed up, right? We've got problems. And what's also interesting about sin is it's not only your mistakes that you're dealing with or your addictions that you're dealing with, but maybe you're living a life where you've had addictions and sins that other people have put on you. You've had other problems that people have put on your shoulders. The gospel comes in and frees us from all of that. It frees us from your mistakes. It frees you from the mistakes that other people have put on your life and sets you on a whole new path that changes your life forever. This is the gospel. And so today when we're talking about this idea of living on mission, I don't want us to be the kind of people that our whole focus on life is that we want to be the best TikTok, video person, and we are trying to live our best life for a 15-second video. But I want you to ask yourself, if you were the most TikTok famous person in the world, you had the best 15-second video ever, and something tragic happened tomorrow, and you passed away and you weren't around anymore, what impact did you make? Did you live on the right mission? Today what I want us to talk about is living on this mission for the gospel, and living on a mission that isn't just about you, but it's about all of us. And it's about us deciding that we go into our school to live on mission for something totally new. And, in Mark 8:36, it says, "What good is it for a man to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul?" Today, I don't want us to have a bunch of city groups with a bunch of students with this idea that they're just living on a mission for something that doesn't matter. I don't want you to gain the whole world, but you forfeit your soul. I want you to have a clear understanding of what the gospel is all about. And, at Vibe, every time we always have this option where people can close their eyes, bow their heads, and raise their hand to accept Jesus into their life. And it's my favorite part of every single Vibe service. But the biggest trick about this whole idea of the gospel is that every day you've got to wake up and make a decision again to give your life to Jesus. You've got to wake up again and say yes to Jesus again. That's what the gospel is about, is saying yes to Jesus. And when you go into school, you're not going to live like your friends. You're going to live for Jesus. So what we're going to do is we're going to break into our groups, and we're going to talk about how you can apply these ideas of living on mission for the gospel. Because I'm really believing that if you live on mission for the gospel, you can be a force that can change the world. I love you guys. Remember, when we show up, we open up, and we'll see you guys next week.